So, tell me about this lake, Badago. What's special about this place?
I guess the special thing is, for me as being a morphologist, that's what my background was looking at a tidal basin, which has a surface area of roughly 600 square kilometers, which only has an average depth of 1.2 meters. You know, it's a special place. There's something going on, because normally if a lake is that shallow, the tidal energy will die off, and the moment tidal energy will die off and the lake is being fed by the desert during the wind, during the nights, which are over the desert because of the warmth of the sea, it will start sedimentate and silt. So what you now see is a hypersaline lake, which still has a lot of algae potential in it. But the problem now is, because it's so shallow, it's so warm, it's so saline, that the moment winds will stir up these sediments, they will take out all the oxygen and it dies off. So the special thing is that it still has a lot of soil carbon and a lot of stored energy from the old ecosystem and watershed which used to be there, and that we can bring in tidal energy which will start up building this engine. And I think for me, the fact that this lake could be a kickstarter for the full ecosystem restoration of the watershed, not only in the sense in a nature-wise thing, but for sure in the social part, where we know in this area where a lot of people are being had a miserable life due to the lack of water and the whole system which is there now in place, which does not have an ecosystem function at the back, so it doesn't really work. And I think the perfect thing is when we met Tim Flannery and John Todd and spoke about the growth potential of this lake is tremendous and could really show the people in a short period, and we talk about 1 to 2 or 3 years, where we can really boost the growth of the marine ecosystem. I think this is a unique opportunity, and we have to realize that now the sand spit of Lake Badawil, because it's 600 square kilometers, a lake on the Mediterranean with just a little sand spit at certain areas only 100 meters wide yet left. I think we have to realize that if this lake will be eroded away by the sea, that the 2.5, almost 3 billion cubic meters of old fertile soils which are still in the lake are lost. And if those are lost, the problem is to restart this ecosystem then requires a lot of soil carbon, which is much difficult, because then you have to extract it again from a different ecosystem.
So your plan is to open up the tidal energies to allow the Mediterranean waters and aquatic life to enter Lake Badawil. And then you're going to have a way out for that too, so it's an in and an out, and there may be more than one phase?
Definitely. There are, just only looking at the lake itself, I guess we're going to look at 2 to 3 phases in total. First of all, we're going to indeed push the tidal energy. So actually the tides which are flowing along the coast, which a lot of people would say in the Mediterranean it's not that much, which is true, it's only about 30 centimeters. But looking at that surface area, you talk the tidal prism, which is actually the volume that comes in and goes out in a tidal cycle. We speak about significant numbers. And if you take the water from the Mediterranean in there to start flushing it, to reduce salinity, to reduce temperatures, to increase oxygen, but also to increase the currents in the lake. The currents in the lake will stir up the sediments. Now if you look at the larger turbulent flows of tidal energy, this will push the old organic material towards the upper 4 meters of the lake, where photosynthesis in these areas of the world will start breaking it down with microbes and algae forming. And really, if you look at that, and really we started up slowly, because I really think that we have to be careful with potential instead of being afraid that the growth is not there. The growth will be there, but we have to pick it up slowly. So we will start with a little dead arm of the lake to get used to our potential, to bring in the flushing, and more we will connect it further into the lake, but also start constructing salt water marges for the birds, because yes, we're going to change a very unique ecosystem, But the fact that it's so unique is because there's so much stored energy, and we want to create a whole unique watershed again. And I think that's together with the whole team, and hopefully with a lot of people, we will find a balance in how we can speed up the growth and how we can protect still existing biomass.